Let's move our bodies together today. So we will begin in child's pose. So let's bring those knees about as wide as the mat. Bring the big toes to touch. Then sink the hips back to the heels. Then begin to bring your torso down toward the mat, maybe coming to forearms. Or if you have the space available, maybe your forehead can come to the mat. And we'll begin right here, taking a few moments just to settle in. Beginning to notice our breath without changing it at first, just noticing. Noticing the gentle rise and fall of your chest and belly. Noticing if your breath feels smooth and easy or rough and textured. Just noticing. And also beginning to notice the sensations in your body. Noticing places that feel open and places that feel tight. Places that feel great today and places that feel a little funky. Again, just noticing. And from here, we'll begin to deepen the breath. With the lips gently sealed, take a long, slow inhale through your nose, filling up. And a really slow exhale, letting that go. Again, inhale through the nose, fill the belly, fill the chest. Exhale, let that go. One more, just like that. Big inhale, fill the belly, fill the chest. Really slowly exhale. And then as your breath returns to a natural rhythm, let's begin to activate this posture by extending the arms forward, pressing into the palms, bringing the hips a little further toward the heels, melting down through the heart. Take a big inhale right here. And as you exhale, walk your hands toward the right side of the mat, bringing your left ear down to the mat. And as your left ear comes to the mat, you can either bring that left hand on top of the right, or bring that right hand next to the knee, pressing into the hand, twisting a little through the middle. And wherever you are, continue pressing that left hip back toward the left heel and melting down through that left side body. Take another long, slow inhale. And a really slow exhale. One more, just like that. Big inhale. Slow exhale. And then walking the hands through the center, coming across to the other side. So this time, the hands are toward the left side of the mat. The right ear comes down toward the mat. Sinking that right hip back toward the right heel, melting through the right side body. Option to bring that right hand next to the left knee, pressing into the palm, twisting yourself around just a little. Long, slow inhale. Really slow exhale. One more like that, big inhale. Slow exhale. Then walk the hands back to center. And from here, make your way into a tabletop, hands and knees. And we want those wrists directly under the shoulders, the knees directly under the hips. And for those of you that have been with me before, you know that cat-cow is in almost all of my flows, mostly because it just feels so good. So when you're ready, we'll inhale as we drop the belly and gaze up. And then as you exhale, find a scaredy cat spine, bringing the chin to the chest. Again, inhale, cow pose, arching the back. Think about the shoulders making the way back toward the hips. The hips are high, the belly's low. And then as you exhale, think about belly button to spine and spine to the sky. Again, inhale, cow pose, shine that heart forward, the middle of your chest. And as you exhale, cat pose, finding that curve in the spine all the way through the lower spine, tucking the tailbone too. Inhale, cow, maybe try tucking the toes under, shifting a little weight forward. Exhale, cat. Press into the palms, create space between the shoulders, space between the vertebrae. And then from here, you can find a few more rounds of cat-cow moving with your breath, or turn it into a little dancing lion. So if you imagine that there was a string hanging from your belly button with a ring at the end, and you were drawing circles with that ring, and they can be small circles or big ones. And you can bend and straighten the elbows as feels natural. I like to get the head and neck involved. And then after a few rounds in one direction, switch and go the other way. Just exploring your body, doing what feels good for you right now. Inhale as you come forward. Exhale as you come back. And then we'll come back to center and meet at a neutral table. And from here, we're going to keep our table nice and stable. So make sure you still have those wrists under shoulders, knees under hips. We'll keep that left hand down, but bring the right hand to the sky for a twist. Twisting from the middle, opening up that right shoulder. And if you can imagine that someone's pushing into that right hand, creating some resistance there. And then from here, we'll make some big circles. So bringing that arm forward, down, back, and up. Big circles, opening the shoulder girdle. Inhale as you come up. Exhale as you come down. Next time at the top, pause there. Switch direction. This time coming back, down, around, and up. Inhale on the upswing. Exhale as you come down. And then pause at the top again. Twist. From here, we're going to do what we call thread the needle. That right hand comes under your body behind the left wrist. Right shoulder comes to the mat. Right ear comes to the mat. And this may be enough for you right here, but if you'd like a little more, you can walk that left hand forward or walk it even over toward the top right corner of the mat. But being mindful, taking what works for you and your body today. And if you'd like even more, option to wrap that left arm around the back, maybe finding that right hip crease. Further option to extend those left toes back, or maybe even extend that leg up. Wherever you are, take a long, slow inhale. And a really slow exhale. Release the leg down if it's elevated. Bring that left hand right back in front of the face. Press into that left palm, unwind, bring the right arm to the sky again. And then bring the right hand back down. Find that well-built table. And then extend the left arm up to the sky. Left hand reaches. Twisting from the middle, opening the shoulder. And then from here, those big circles, first coming forward, down, back, and up. Inhale as you come up. Exhale as you come down. Opening up the left shoulder girdle. Next time around, pause at the top, switch direction. One more. Pause at the top again. Thread the needle, left arm comes down, left shoulder comes down. Either staying right here or option to walk that right hand forward or the right hand toward the left corner. Noticing where you feel that sensation in that left shoulder. Option to wrap the right arm around the back. And then further option to extend those right toes or elevate that right foot. And wherever you are, long, slow inhale. Really slow exhale. Right knee comes down. Right hand comes down in front of your face. Unwind. And then left hand back to the mat. From here, we'll tuck the toes under, lift the hips up and back, downward facing dog. And in this down dog, you have the option of staying still, if that feels good for you, or pedaling out the feet, bending one knee and then the other, or wagging your tail, shifting the weight from left to right. And then we'll all meet in a neutral down dog. Gaze forward between your hands and either walk or tiptoe to the top of the mat. We'll meet at the top with your feet about hip width apart for a forward fold. Now we can have a generous bend in the knees for this first fold of the day. Give those legs some time to wake up. Arms and head are hanging heavy. The crown of the head reaching toward the ground. And when we say crown of the head in yoga, we mean literally the place where you would wear a crown, the top of your head. From here, we'll grab opposite elbows, right hand grabbing the left, left hand grabbing the right. We're working those biceps toward the ears, trying to get the crown of the head down. And then you can find a little rock side to side or forward and back. Just shifting the weight here and there. Noticing all those sticky spots in the backs of the legs. Giving a little extra attention where you need it today. And then we'll come back to center, release the arms down. And from here, we'll inhale, come all the way to standing reverse swan dive. Bring those arms out and up. Hands meet at the top and then come straight down to the heart. We'll do that again with just the arms. Inhale, arms reach. Exhale, hands to heart. One more time, just like that. Inhale, reach. Exhale, hands to the heart. We'll pause here for just a moment and take just some time to set an intention for your practice. An intention is just something you want more of in life. How often do you slow down and really think about what you want? What do I want to create today? How do I want to feel? Am I looking for more love, more peace, more joy, more abundance? What is that for you today? Take a long, slow inhale into that intention. And a really slow exhale. Then we'll inhale the arms up again. This time we'll forward fold, hinging from the hips. Bring it all the way down. And as you reach that forward fold, shift a little weight toward the toes. Inhale for a halfway lift, lengthening the spine. Fingertips on the shins, crown of the head reaching forward. That back is nice and flat like a table. Exhale, fold. Let's do that same thing again. Inhale, halfway lift, lengthen. Think about the shoulders coming back toward the hips, just like in cow. But we're not arching the back. The spine is nice and long and flat. Exhale, fold. One more time. Inhale, halfway lift, lengthen the spine, crown of the head reaching forward, heart reaching forward. Exhale, fold. From here, we'll bend the knees, plant the hands, step back to plank with knees up or down, and lower all the way to the belly. From here, bring the legs together, tops of the feet are on the mat, toes are untucked. And we'll make our way into a Sphinx pose. So we want the elbows directly under the shoulders. The forearms are flat on the mat, parallel to each other. We're pressing down through the tops of the hips. The tops of the feet, the tops of the legs, and the hips. And then lifting up through the crown of the head. But we also want to think about the shoulders coming back and shining that heart forward. Think about if you were trying to pull your heart through your biceps. Take a big inhale. And a slow exhale. And then gaze to the left. Bring it back to center. Gaze to the right. Come back to center. Release everything down. Bend both knees, bringing your feet up, and just a little windshield wiper of the legs left and right. Releasing the lower back. And come back to center again. Bring your hands next to your chest, and then moving through plank or tabletop, make your way back to downward dog. And as you come into that down dog, you can have a gentle bend in your knees. I want you to think about pressing through the palms, bringing the hips further back. And you're going to press into your palms so much that if I took a pencil and tried to slide it between your thumb and your forefinger under your palm, I couldn't slide it under there. We also want to think about taking the crease out of your wrist. So if you look at my wrist right now, this is what I mean. We don't want to be here. We want to be here. And that'll actually take the pressure off the wrist for you. A lot of people say they have trouble in down dog because it's hard on their wrist. And that's part of the reason why. And you can do that with knees bent or mostly straight. It doesn't really matter. From here, we're going to reach those right toes up to the sky. Open up that right hip and either circle the ankle or bend the knee to circle the hip. And whatever we do one way, we do the other way. So switch direction. Then extend those toes super high to the sky again. Come high on the bottom toes. And from here, we're going to bring that right knee forward and step the right foot between the hands. And you can grab it and help it up a little if you need to. That back knee comes down, untuck those toes. And from here, we'll bring it up for a low lunge. Arms reach, biceps by the ears. Sinking into that front hip. And then from here, bring hands to heart center. And we're going to find a prayer twist. So as we twist the body to the right, the left elbow hooks on that right knee. And we can use that leverage of hand into hand and left elbow into right knee to twist a little more. Keep hugging that right knee to the midline. And take a long, slow inhale. And a really slow exhale, maybe twist just a little bit more. One more breath just like that. Exhale, twist. Then bring it back to center, arms come up. Maybe a little baby back bend at the top, gaze up. Then hands come down, framing that right foot. Tuck the back toes under, elevate that back knee, and step the left foot forward to meet the right for a forward fold. From here, inhale, halfway lift, lengthen your spine. And then bring it all the way up to standing, reverse swan dive, and then hands to heart center. And from here, we'll flow again. Same thing, other side. Inhale, arms reach. Exhale, hinge from the hips, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift, lengthen. Exhale, fold. Bend your knees, plant your hands, step back to plank with knees up or down, and lower halfway or all the way. Inhale for up dog or cobra. Exhale, downward dog. Notice where you are in that down dog. Notice your tendencies, your habits. Press into those palms, bring those hips a little further back. And then from here, left toes up to the sky. Open up that left hip. Option to circle the ankle or bend the knee and circle the hip. One way and then the other. Then reach those toes high to the sky. Come high on the bottom set of toes. Inhale brings the knee forward, foot between the hands. Lower the back knee down, untuck those toes. And then bring it up, low lunge. Gaze forward, sink into that front hip. Hug that left knee to the midline. Then hands to the heart. And from here, prayer twist to the left. Hooking that right elbow this time. Twisting from the middle. Long, slow inhale. Really slow exhale. One more, just like that. Unwind, arms come up. Little baby back bend, gaze up. Then hands come down, frame that left foot, tuck the back toes, elevate the right knee, and step that foot forward, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift, lengthen. And then bring it all the way up to standing. And hands to the heart. And from here, we're just going to make our way into a seated position. If you would like to do it with me through toe stand, you can, or you can just come on down. But if you're in the mood to play a little, bring the feet together, knees together, hands to the heart. Gaze forward at something that's not moving so that we can start to find our balance. And then from here, start to come up on the toes. And as you come up on your toes, begin to bend your knees. Hug those knees together and begin to lower down. Hips are coming toward those heels. As slowly as you can. And as you arrive with hips at heels, see if you can find a little balance. And try not to sink into those heels. Actually, find a little lift in this posture. Squeeze the feet together, squeeze the knees together. You got this. Big inhale. Slow exhale. And then together we can roll back onto our seat. Ready? Arms forward. Here we go. Roll back. Not so bad. Okay. As we come to seated, however you got there, let's begin with both legs extended long. And from here, we'll bring the right foot inside of the left foot inside of the right thigh. You can do it either way, actually. We're going to switch anyway. Grounding down through both of those sits bones. Find a nice tall spine. And then as you reach forward, and I'm saying reach, so I don't want you just folding in. Reach through the fingertips so that you continue hinging from the hips, reaching those fingertips forward. And when you've reached as far as you can, then go ahead and fold in. Letting your hands land wherever they land. And if you've got a whole lot of space in this posture, maybe your hands can grip that right foot, or maybe even grip around the foot. Or if you have a yoga block and you're super flexy, maybe you're gripping onto that. Hamstrings need some time and patience to open up, especially if you don't do these kinds of stretches that often. Take a long, slow inhale and a really slow exhale. One more like that. Inhale. Exhale, maybe reach in a little more. Then gently make your way back up to seated. From here, the left hand brings that left knee up. Bring the left foot across the right leg. And from here, the right arm will hug that knee in. Left arm extends up. Twist from the middle. Then the left hand finds a spot on the mat behind you, a few inches behind the tailbone. Try to keep both of those sits bones grounded. Inhale as you sit up tall. Exhale as you twist. Again, like that. Inhale. Exhale, twist. And then keeping everything exactly where it is, turn only your head the opposite way. One breath here. Then unwind everything. And from here, right foot comes inside the left thigh. Right knee opening out to the right, left leg extended, arms reach. And then reaching through those fingertips, continue reaching forward. And then folding in. Take a long, slow inhale. And a really slow exhale. One more like that. Then gently bring it back up. Right hand brings that right knee up. Right foot comes across the leg. Left arm hugs the knee in. Right arm extends. Then twist from the middle. As the right fingertips come down, inhale, sits up tall. Exhale, twist. Again, like that inhale, we find length in the spine. Exhale, we find a little more space. And then keeping everything where it is, turn only your head the opposite way. One more breath. Unwind back to center. From here, we'll bend both knees, feet about hip width apart, and we'll find one boat pose. Now, your options for boat pose are hands behind the thighs and find that little tilt backwards. And if you'd like a little more, you can extend arms forward. If you find that you're starting to hunch over, continue lifting through your heart. Maybe come out of it a little, or maybe go back to the thighs. And then you have a further option to lift your feet any amount, maybe even straightening those legs if that's available. And wherever you are, can you do it with a smile on your face? Because the shaking just means you're alive. Take one full breath right here. Then replace your feet, hand behind the thighs if they're not there, and just slowly lower yourself down to the mat. From here, we'll hug both knees to the chest, maybe a little rock side to side. Notice how that massages the sacrum, the lower back. And then as you come back to center, release both feet to the mat. Again, we want the feet about hip width apart, both knees bent. And then from here, we're going to take that right ankle and put it on top of the left knee. And then allow that right knee to open out to the right. We're opening up this right hip. And this may be enough right here. But if you'd like a little more sensation today, you have the option of lifting that left foot off the mat and then reach the right hand through the middle, left hand around, pulling that left thigh in any amount. I'm kind of using this right elbow to keep urging that right knee open. And we want to pull that thigh in, but we don't want the lower back to come off the ground. So if that's happening, just back off a little. And for many of us, we will feel a whole lot of sensation in that right hip very quickly. Just see if you can be with it. If you feel anything funky at all on that right knee, you can flex that right foot. That will protect the knee joint. And wherever you are, take a long, slow inhale. And a really slow exhale. One more time, sending breath to exactly where you feel the sensation in the right hip. Really see if you can pinpoint it. And as you exhale, allow that space to soften and open. Then we'll gently release the left foot to the floor if it was elevated. Release the right foot from the left. Let both knees fall toward the left. And then both knees fall to the right. And a little back and forth windshield wiper. And we'll come back to center and prepare for the other side. This time, left ankle on right knee, left knee open out to the left. And either staying right here or option to lift the right foot and pull the right thigh in. And our hips are the homes to so much emotion, grief, and trauma. So as we open up physically, we also open up energetically, releasing the things that we've stored there. That's why a lot of times in these hip opening postures, we will feel emotions bubbling up. It is normal and natural. Just notice them, acknowledge them, but try not to attach to them at this time. And breathe through it. Let's take a long, slow inhale. And a really slow exhale. Again, like that, inhale, sending breath to that left hip, exactly where you feel sensation. Exhale, soften and open. Then gently release the right foot to the mat. Release the left foot from the right. Let both knees fall to the right. And both knees fall to the left. And a little windshield wiper back and forth. And come back to center. Hug both knees in again. This time we're going to extend both legs up. Now this posture is called legs up the wall. And if you have a wall nearby, you can go ahead and do it against the wall. But if not, you can just allow your feet to kind of hang up in the air. You don't need to have your knees straight in this posture. It doesn't make any difference to have them straight. But what we're looking for is a release of the lower back. And the way that we're going to get that is allowing these thigh bones, the femur bones, to feel super heavy in the hip sockets. And we're also getting the benefits that we would get of any inversion. When our feet are above our heart, it reverses the blood flow. And you receive the many benefits without the need of doing those crazy handstands and headstands. We can get it right here. And a little bit of core work, I'm sure you're noticing. All right, let's hug those knees in again. Maybe bring your chin up towards your knees. Give yourself a big squeeze. Squeeze everything in as you inhale. And then as you exhale, release the head to the mat. Keep the knees bent, knees together. Drop the feet to the mat. So our knees are bent, our feet are together, our knees are together. Our feet are on the mat. And then from here, allow the knees to fall open to the left and the right, bringing the soles of the feet together for a butterfly pose. Reclined butterfly, reclined Baddha Konasana, Supta Baddha Konasana. And we'll bring the right hand to the belly and the left hand to the heart. And taking just a moment here to connect with yourself. What are 3 things you're grateful for right now in this moment? What are 3 things that are working for you? Thanking the universe or God or whatever you believe, thanking, being grateful for what's going well, calls in more of that energy into our lives. So the more grateful we are, the more great things we will get to be grateful for. And then from here, we'll extend both legs long, feet coming as wide as the mat. Allow the feet to fall open to the left and right. And then armed at your sides with your palms facing up. This pose, Shavasana, is considered to be the most important pose we'll do in any yoga practice. Taking the time for silence and stillness is so incredibly valuable. So challenge yourself to be still in these moments. Trust that I'll pull you out when the time is right. And if thoughts or other distractions try to pull you away from this moment, just keep coming back to the sound of your breath. Shavasana. You can begin to come back into your body by deepening your breath, noticing how you feel after some twisting and stretching. And then wiggling fingers and toes to begin to wake up our hands and feet. And then eventually maybe finding a big good morning stretch, reaching arms and legs in opposite directions.